Section 2.1 is basic properties of sets. So we're going to learn what is a set and what are the definitions regarding a set. So let's start off by reading this. It says any group or collection of objects is a set. In general, you guys would think, most students would think, that a set in mathematics is a collection of numbers, but it absolutely doesn't have to be. It's any object. So we could have a set that contains red, dog, A, and 5. That's a set. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter what's in the set. We just have to say, here's what's in the set. Okay? The things that are in the set, or objects in the set, are called elements or members. I'm always going to use the word elements. Okay? For example, the set consisting of the 4 seasons has spring, summer, fall, and winter as its elements. The following 2 methods are often used to designate a set. You can either describe it in words, or you could list the elements as set pairs inside of braces. This is called roster method. So roster method is really important for us. We need to know roster method in this class. That's how the majority of the time I'm going to want the answers, the vast majority of the time. It says commas are used to separate the elements. So it says, for instance, let's use S to represent the set consisting of 4 seasons. Using roster method, we would write, notice that it has the braces on the end. Those are not brackets. Brackets are the square ones. So these are called braces. And then notice that it has the commas in between each of the names. It says the order in which the elements of the set are listed is not important. Thus, the set containing the 4 seasons could also be written as, so the first time it was written as spring, summer, fall, and winter, braces on the outside, comma in between them, right? Now it's braces on the outside, commas between, but it's winter, spring, summer, and fall. So it doesn't matter which order you're either in the set or you're not in the set. And so that gives us to the keys to the roster method. Keys to the roster method. So keys to the roster method, right here, very, very important you understand this. First is you must use braces on the outside. Can't be brackets, and they do need to be there. You need to put braces, because when we see those braces, we will read it as the set of. You must separate each item with a comma. There's absolutely no reason to repeat an element. You are either in the set or you're not in the set. So for instance, summer is in the set. We would not write summer twice. It's redundant and not necessary. So if the number 3 is in the set, you wouldn't ever have a set that says 3, 3, always remove repeats. So I'm going to write a little note there that's absolutely key. Always remove repeats. And that's going to help us answer some of the questions later on. And then it says, number 4, we just heard that order doesn't matter, but even though order doesn't matter, please write them in numeric or alphabetical order. So if you have the numbers 1, 2, 3, write it as 1, 2, 3. Even though that's the exact same set as 2, 3, 1, we want to write it in order as 1, 2, 3 so we can more easily compare our answers to one another. Likewise with letters, if you have B, D, and E, please write them in alphabetic order. Don't write it as D, B, E. Always try to write it in alphabetic order. So even though it doesn't matter, it just helps us visualize it. It helps us compare it and check our answers if we do write it in order. So please do. Okay. So it says the following table gives 2 examples of set, where each set is designated by a word description and also by using the roster method. So here's the word description, the set of denominations of U.S. paper currency in production at time. And then the roster method says $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. Okay? So those are the different dollar bills that we have. Of course, this isn't the only way that I could have seen you write the set. You might have actually wrote the word dollars on there. Or you might have just written the numbers 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. Okay? There's not always one answer for the roster method. You might write each one of those elements individually, but certainly you need each one of those elements and no other elements in there. Another one says the set of states in the United States that border the Pacific Ocean. Well, if I asked you that, I don't even know how many, including myself, could answer that. Maybe California, Oregon, Washington you might get, but you'd probably forget about Alaska, certainly probably forget about Hawaii. Okay? So there's going to be some questions in this section that, man, I don't even know the answer to that. And if you don't know the answer to it and it's not mathematical, I guarantee it will not be on the test. Let me state that again, it's really important. If you do not know it and it is not mathematical, I guarantee it will not be on the test. So a question like this, if it's on your homework, just Google the answer. I'm perfectly fine with that. Don't be intimidated by the content. Google the answer if it's non-mathematical.